Hello, Libra. Welcome. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a general reading we'll be dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel and drop the 3 tarot pages review as well. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on. Hmm. Hmm. Huh. Weird. Okay. Um. This is a little weird, Libra. This is very similar to who Libra was at. Or no, actually, my bad. This is very similar to who Gemini was asking about and dealing with. I'm looking at your energy, Libra, so I'm like, okay, a little bit of a blur there. Damn. Yeah. There's the Seven of Swords right away as well. Yeah. Very similar to Gemini, who they're asking about or dealing with. Um. Okay, so jumping into this. What does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with you? Once again, I'm kind of asking like it's such a simple question, but why is it so difficult for them to answer? What does it have to do with you? What I'm energetically looking at here, Libra, is everything on their end. I don't know what that's about, but everything on their end seems to be going great. So it's like, what's their deal or what's their issue with you? Like I don't understand that. But there's like something specifically about you. Um, it's a little eerie. I know it's spooky season Halloween, but that's a little fucking eerie. Literally, it's kind of like leave it be, bury it, um, put it in the past, leave it behind. I was about to say Libra. There's something about you that they're trying to bury, and I'm like, that sounds wrong. Um, I don't understand that. It's like, where's the specifics? There it is. Okay, so there it is, and there it is. Um, so then why the Seven of Swords? Why the Seven of Swords? I mean, is it seriously just that? Is it seriously just that? Because if it's just that, then how does that over there translate to that over there? Oh my gosh. Wow, that's what I was kind of wondering. That's what I was kind of wondering. That is gray. Energetically speaking, that is gray. Like just like gray. Gray, gray, gray. The color gray is what I'm saying. Energetically, there's so much going on, but then it's just kind of like gray clouds. Like whatever this is right here, it's just kind of like, and there goes the sun and disappeared behind a cloud. Now it's getting dark and gloomy, and now it's just everything's gray. That's what I'm looking at energetically with this shift. It goes from so much color over here between the two of you, and that's the crazy part. I'm looking at so much color, but then for some reason down here, so much gray. So it's like, what happened? What happened? The emotions and the feelings. What I'm saying here is the emotions and the feelings and the twinkle in the eye. Um, it's fading. It's fading. Energetically speaking, out of the blue and into the black. I don't know why they're emphasizing like it's just they're saying, even though like I said energetically it may look like from an outside perspective or an outsider's eyes like everything's great, everything's fine, everything's perfect, picture perfect, like happy couple, happy people. But at the same time, internally speaking, no, there's so much there that they're kind of harnessing and holding back. And there's clearly some sort of dynamic between the two of you. Um, this is one of those situations of like, well, I can't control what someone does or what someone doesn't do. So all I will give them that they have the awareness of like knowing, oh, I can't control what they do or what they don't do. They know that. At the same time, they're also like, I can only control myself. Um, but then, geez, but there's also, like I said, with that Seven of Swords, there's also that so-called risk of what happens when it's kind of like, well, if something's going on over here and they make a change themselves, how that's going to change almost like the trajectory or the direction of how things move forward. And that's what's happening. There's so much there, but specifically between the two of you, they're saying something is missing. There's a gap, there's a hole, there's a void. The donut in yoga class finding their center. What I'm saying, Libra, emotionally speaking, there's that disconnect. It's almost like, today everything is picture perfect. Tomorrow, bipolar weather. I'm not saying they're bipolar. I'm just saying that's how fast things can change in life. There's so much there. There's so much there. But just like the weather, emotions come and go, and so do thoughts. No, I'm not saying it has to be constant summer, sunny heat and sun, but that's an energy where as it dims. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Crosswatcher, I will give you that. That is crystal clear. I understand that. I do. I understand that. I do. I do. That's the geez. Um, you're good. You're good. There's nothing sneaky or shady about that Seven of Swords. There's not. I get that. Yeah, I completely understand that. I do. If it's like, geez Louise, that means you've been burned. You've been, energetically speaking, by the weather. You've been sunburned. You burn easily. What I'm saying here, unfortunately, Crosswatcher. There's an emotional sensitivity to this kind of energy. You're either about this relationship and 100% all in, or you're out. You're either going to participate and be active and be all about this thing, or you're out. And this is a situation of like no funny business, no games. Like, what's this whole thing about? What's that called? Energetically speaking, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, if you're withholding in any type of way, that's considered manipulation and control. It is. It is what it is. That's manipulation and control. Well, I'm not going to do this because of that. You're keeping score. You're keeping tally. That's conditional. That's a transaction. That's what they're saying is they're like, yeah, I'm not feeling it because things are shifting and changing in such a way. They're like, unfortunately, Libra, they're like, I'm better off being fucking alone. Because whatever this is over here, they're just kind of like, they don't feel like you're 100% all in. There's the sun wanting to show up. Oh my gosh. Oh, which direction are you going, Crosswatcher? You had a realization there, didn't you? You had a realization there, didn't you? And that's the thing about that's the thing about staring into the void. The void will stare back, and it's meant to. That's its purpose. It triggers something in you of like, now what are you gonna do? You're like, are you comfortable? Are you uncomfortable? Make a decision. Think quick. Um, I understand that they're scared. Geez Louise. Emotionally speaking, they're already disconnecting from you, Libra, if they haven't already. For some reason, at the same time, this is a situation where it's kind of like, well, they would rather be with someone if even it's toxic or karmic, because just to have someone around, just to have someone there, whether it's toxic or karmic, is better than not to have anybody there at all. This is no different than why people surround themselves with a crowd that they don't get along with, that they don't like, because they'd rather deal with that devil than the devil they don't know. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. I'm not saying they're the devil or people are the devil. I'm just saying it's toxic, it's karmic. This is that fear kicking online and then being like, I don't want to lose Libra. No. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to make this work. And it's like, you're scared. You're scared. You're scared. Unfortunately, what you're showing me is you're torn between, what's that song? Can You Feel My Heart by Bring Me the Horizon? You're scared, Crosswatcher. You're scared. I can't drown. The lyrics are, I can't drown my demons. They know how to swim. Good song, by the way. We'll see where this one goes. We'll see where it goes. I don't know. There's something, like I said, they are having some sort of realization. Um, I don't know about what. They are realizing there are some things that they need and want to change. So we'll kind of leave it there. But like I said, when it comes to that energy of, I don't know if it's energetically unfortunate, I got to say it. It could be codependency. It could be attachment. I'm not going to say it's addiction, substance, or vices. It's possible. But that definitely is karmic. It definitely is toxic. I understand that. Like, you don't want to lose someone at the same time. Um, to hold on to someone even though you've already emotionally detached or are in the process, only holding on to someone out of fear, that is the opposite of love. That is the opposite of love. So, goodbye.